And this is the produce that we went and picked up near Wisconsin Dells that caused us to go to the Wisconsin Dells Walmart. So I got 2 more zucchini. They're really big, so what I'm going to do with these guys are shred them and then make my husband some homemade zucchini muffins instead of the banana muffins. I've got some Roma tomatoes, so what I'm going to do there is core them and then I'm going to freeze them. And I'm going to try and make my own tomato soup and my own spaghetti sauce. So I've had homemade spaghetti sauce already. I've made that and been successful with that. So I'm going to try it again with these tomatoes. I had a different kind. I think it was a San Marzano or something that's like that. I don't think we grow any of those in this country. Something like that. About 3 years ago, I grew my own, and yeah, it was wonderful spaghetti sauce. We didn't have to buy it at all for about 6 months. So we'll try it with these Romas. We'll also try the tomato soup with these Romas and see how that goes. I plan on buying about 20 pounds of these next week. And some green beans, 1.5 pounds of those. I think they were either $2.99 or $3.99, just picked today. And some Swiss chard, the rainbow Swiss chard, and that was $5.99. And that will be at least 3 meals. So we're planning on having some bratwurst, some Swiss chard, use up some potatoes, either just boiled potatoes or fried potatoes with the Swiss chard, and and some fresh green beans. That's going to be our next homemade meal. So that is everything that we picked up today. I think that we're now 3 little shopping hauls and 2 produce pickups. Okay, here are the apples from our first orchard pickup. So these just came off the trees, the first apples that they're offering at the Sky High Apple Orchard that we visit every year. These are my husband's favorites, Zestar. They were 3-pound bags that they put on the floor first for $8. So we're happy to have them. We've missed them every year for the last 3 years. So I called and just happened to get lucky that they were just being put on the floor this morning, so we were there by noon. So we'll work on eating these, both bags, 3-pound bags, and then we'll go back on September 6th when they have their U-picks. Well, we'll go back sometime after September 6th when their U-pick starts, and then we pick other types of apples that we not only eat, but I make applesauce from. I found a couple of locally grown acorn squash. They were $1.19 a pound. I'd have to look at my price list to see if that's what I usually pay. To be able to tell you whether that's a good price or not. They're small, and I think they were each about a pound. And then I've got work set out for me for tonight. I need to core these tomatoes and then put them in the small freezer so that I can make some tomato soup out of those soon. And then, of course, we're going to add to that tomato soup these 2 peppers that I picked from my pepper plant on the deck. And these are the lemons that I'm going to preserve. So I got 5 lemons at Walmart for $2.38 marked down. I didn't notice any blemishes or anything wrong with them, but they were a regular, I want to say $4.88. So I'm not sure, but they look beautiful, and I'm going to preserve them. So got my ball jars over here, getting nice and hot. We're going to get them washed up, and then I'm going to run them through a really hot rinse cycle with the lids in the jars, and then I'm going to pack the lemon slices in here with some sugar and water and preserve them in the refrigerator and use them in different syrups or homemade lemonade, stuff like that, and see how that works. I've seen that in a few videos lately, so I'm just going to try it. And there's no way I could go through this many lemons in the next few days in anything, and I'm still using up sliced lemons in my water that I did here about a month ago. I've done that twice now this summer, and I really enjoyed that, to slice lemons and freeze them and then pop them in a glass of water, or a bottle of water. So that's this preserving that I'm doing tonight and that before I go to bed. And here are my 2 jars of preserved lemons. So Basically, I just washed my ball jars with soapy water, rinsed with really hot water, ran it through a dishwashing cycle of hot water with the jars and the lids, scrubbed the lemons really, really well with a vegetable brush and then with a cloth, and then rinse them really, really well, chopped them up, and then you would pack a little bit in the bottom with sugar, and then so a layer of lemons and then a little bit of sugar, layer of lemons, and so on and so forth to the top. You can put as much sugar or as little sugar as you want in it. What I am making into or from my lemons is a lemon syrup, and I'm going to add a little bit to tea. As winter approaches in that, we start drinking more tea, and so we're going to have a little bit of this lemon syrup in our tea all winter long. I think, well, I don't know about, I have to see how long this looks, and I'll leave it, or lasts, I'll leave it in the show notes. But we're at least going to have this syrup for 2 months, so we're going to start in September. My husband's birthday, he usually starts drinking tea, and it should go until the first part of November. But I will make sure that I leave everything in the show notes, and as always, you have to make sure that the ball jars are really super clean, and that any type of produce that you're putting into it is also super clean. Otherwise, you leave room for bacteria to start. So there we have it. And the last thing that I need to process from our recent produce pickup is this wonderful looking sweet corn. So we were able to find some sweet corn locally from one of my husband's co-workers. So not only did we pick up our regular weekly, or bi-weekly produce haul, we went by a local stand here in town and we picked up some sweet corn today. So looks really good. So I'm going to be taking that, or blanching it, taking it off the cob, and then freezing that up. And I add, after we have a couple of years, of course, I add it all winter long to soups and stews and use as side dishes. I know last winter I did up like 12 or 14 bags, and we used every last one of them. It was wonderful to be able to eat kernel corn in the winter months, December and January. It tastes just like it came right out of the garden. So freezing it in that does not harm any of the taste as long as you're eating it up within 2 or 3 months. So I've got this to do, and that takes care of not only our regular bi-weekly produce haul, but today's produce haul and our apple pickup and the lemon slices I got on sale and the tomatoes that I got with our bi-weekly. I've processed those now and put them in the freezer, and they're waiting on soup. So therein lies the end of my video as far as what I've been able to buy so far and what I've been able to process and put away for so far, not only for the food in our household, the fuel in our car, food in our kitty's belly and his cat litter, of course, but the food that I bought for us for this month. And then I have one other video after this that will feature a lot of other stuff that I've picked up or will be picking up within the next week. So I hope you're all well, and I'll see you back here again.